Hello everyone, welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing another Evolve in a Custom Solar System from birth to death. But this time, instead of using one star, we're going to do two. We're going to do a binary system. So this is going to be probably more of a challenge. We may have to do a few, we're probably going to have to keep saving in case anything goes absolutely crazy. So without further ado, let's begin. So I'm going to go for two G-type stars, so just two sun-like stars, and we're going to evolve. So they'll have basically similar evolution times, so it should be pretty good. So first of all, we need a star, or we need two stars. So, or actually no, you know what? Actually no, scratch that. I'm going to go for basically Alpha Centauri A and B. So a yellow dwarf and then an orange dwarf. So obviously the yellow dwarf is going to age a little faster. So remember, this is all sort of fantasy, just a bit of fun, so it may not be scientifically accurate, but without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. So Alpha Centauri A, where are you? Where is Alpha A gone? Used to be here, didn't it? Am I just completely blind? There, oh, they are down here. Okay, what am I doing? Right, so Alpha Centauri A, that's our primary star. Then Alpha Centauri B, so we're going to have you, also going in binary. So let's go, how many AU apart are we going to go? Let's go for a juicy sort of orbit. Why is it not telling us what orbit is? Oh well, 68. Okay, we could adjust that. I'm going to put the second star there. So they're also in a binary. So how far apart are these guys? So 46 AU away. Okay, so that's bigger than the Neptune sort of orbit distance. Okay, so that's a reasonable size to sort of work with, I'd say. So there we go. Right. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to turn them into sort of old younger stars. So we need to make them into protostars. First, we're going to put this to density. We're going to lock the we're going to lock the mass, but the radius is we're going to half the radius down. So it's a lot less bright, less luminous. So we're going to dim all that down. There you go. So Alpha Centauri A, same with Alpha Centauri B. So go to density. We're going to lock the mass. Radius is going to go down. So going to make that one quite small though. Obviously luminosity a lot dimmer on both stars. Okay, so we've got our two sort of early stars. We're going to put the habitable zones on so you can see, there you go. Okay, so Alpha Centauri A and then B. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we need our Planetary Disk. So I believe there's actually a new set of rings we can use for this. We haven't used them yet, and they're called Satin Clouds. So if I press this, I'm going to do that. So we're going to go for huge disc. We're going to go just white colour so we can actually see them. And now where are we? So in a radius, okay, an outer radius, we're going to go out to about 40 AU. Like that. So we're going to add to Alpha Centauri A, and you can see there's a lot of particles in there. You can see, look at that. So that looks really cool. Instead of using default rings, we can do that. And then the same story with Alpha Centauri B. So we've got two stars. You can see the particles. We're going to go to enhanced lighting so we can actually see. Oh, we already are realistic on it. Oh no, we already are on enhanced. Okay, so quite tricky to see all this, but also if you just go into the stars, you can see it a lot easier. So that is where our planets are going to form. So we're going to zoom out though. So press play, and there you go. So it is running. Right, so we've got our two stars starting out, Alpha Centauri A and B. They may pick up some material, but there you go. We could probably change our background actually. Let's go to Milky Way light so we can actually see the particles a little easier. Okay, there you go. So there's our planetary disks around both stars. Right. So Alpha Centauri A in the middle. It looks like it's warmed up in temperature a bit, but that's probably just due to this. So now, planets. Obviously we need some planets to form in here. So let's go down. So what sort of planets do we want to work with in here? I'm going to use some of these worlds here, because I actually redid all these worlds. So I've been waiting to use them again. So I'm going to just go ahead and start spawning in objects. So orbit. So I'm going to put one there. I can just put them all over the place, really. No specific area. So there we are. And then obviously we need some around Alpha B as well. So let me just lock on there. We're going to have some gas giants as well, so don't worry about that, guys. We're going to have a decent mix of all of them. So we're going to put this one here. So quite laggy with all of these particles and stuff, isn't it? Oh, right, okay. So we've got a nice mix of different worlds in there, but we're also going to go over the good old random stuff as well, because we random moons and just smaller minor bodies, because we like to sort of see where they all end up at the end of the day. So we're going to have yeah, quite a nice mix of both. We're going to have some objects from further out, random, some around Alpha 8 as well. We need a decent amount, so there's some good stuff in here. And then obviously gas giants, we obviously want to have a nice amount of those in here as well. So we're going for quite a large sort of scale system here. So what are we thinking? We're going to go gas world here. Starting here, I have no idea what the dominant gas giant's going to be. The gas giants could be swapping stars for all I know. I mean, it could get pretty hectic. I mean, at the end of the day, maybe both systems will break apart. I mean, who knows? So, there we are. Okay, let's go ahead and spawn in some other worlds as well. But yeah, we have got gas giants in here, so beware. They could be out to get you, rocky planets, so they need to be very, very careful where they step. Okay. So yeah, we're getting a nice sort of range of objects in here as well. Have I got any other cool gas giants to use? Yeah, why not? Let's put some a little closer into the system as well, but obviously some further out. So we should have quite a nice sort of mix of worlds, and you can already see some of the orbits are starting to break apart as well. So this is going to be pretty wild stuff. Okay, so I think that's a fair amount of objects that have we've got to work with now. Go for a few further out. So as you can see, the gap between both stars is here, so we're going to have sort of an outer ice giant there. And then lastly, I think we just need a few more sort of minor objects in the outer areas, just to sort of fill it up a bit. But obviously a lot of those will probably get moved around, so a giant dwarf planet sort of area. So we'll go random moons. We'll just have a huge amount just sort of in between both stars, so it should get pretty wild indeed. So there's going to be a lot of star transfers here. So there you go. So both stars, they've got quite a nice disk to work with here. So you can see that actually does look really cool. So you can see the simulation speed is very, very slow. So we're going to remove our planetary... Oh, actually, how far will it actually run? I mean, labels are on. There you go. Okay. Oh man, this is going to be so crazy. Okay, so, oh my god. Right, so, actually what I'll do is I'll delete the planetary disks. Our planets have spawned, so it's running a lot better already. And then we're going to go ahead and save. And we're going to go binary B to D, so birth to death 1. Okay, so simulation is saved. Now, it's time to start evolving our system. So, how is this going to play out? I mean, I've got no clue what the dominant gas giant is, so let's have a little look. Oh, that one is big. We got a big world formed here. Mass. So as you can see, both stars obviously top dogs. So this is our dominant gas giant. It's at 9 Jupiters in mass, so it's very, very large. Second world is only 4.15, so we have got some pretty large guys in here. 1.09 Jupiters, 6 Earths, so they've got some smaller gas giants as well in there, mixed in there. And we'll see a lot of little minor objects as well. We can see we've got this Vulcan world here, one of the competition planets actually, from Minobat, which I decided to throw in as well, because I thought it would be quite a cool looking world, being just sort of torn to shreds wherever it is in the system. I think it's quite close to the star as well for the time being, so we'll see how Vulcan does. But we've also got some planets that could definitely be capable of life in here as well to spice things up. But enough of that said, let's actually let our simulation play and start to see how this is going to start to change. Look how circular all those orbits are. I'm not sure that's going to last. So, here we go. So you can already see simulation is already going to start changing. Objects are going to transfer between 2 different stars. So this should be very, very interesting. So we've got a brand new binary system set up here. Looks like Alpha Centauri B is already in the binary with this object here. Okay, pretty cool. Right, so let's see how this plays out. Oh man, this is going to be wild. Alrighty. Ejection already. We've just started, already a world ejected. Oh man, another world's been ejected. This is going to be absolutely insane. So, oh, we can see something slowed down. What's cool is that? So there could be collisions, all sorts of things going on. So let's actually just get an eye on what sort of worlds we've got closer to the stars to start off with. So if we slow down time. So our closest planet to Alpha Centauri A currently... Oh, hang on. What is that? Oh! How did this get here? I don't remember spawning this here. Whoa. There it is. Whoa. So that's not in a good place. That's very dangerously close to Alpha A. So we've got the closest planet. Then we have our second closest planet over here. Awaru over here, so you can see it's actually got city lights on it as well. So a pretty desolate looking world. Has got some life sort of stats on it, but I mean I don't think that's going to do much. You can see it doesn't really have any Earth similarity stats, I'm guessing. Yeah, low life likelihood on it. But yeah, it looks like currently it has got some decent appearance, but we'll see how that changes. Doesn't look very friendly though. Okay, next up we have got Beowulf here. So this world was designed to be habitable, so let's see how this sort of plays out. So we've already got a world looking pretty decent looking actually, but it is a little too close to the star for comfort to really last, so we're not going to see this world really do much in the long run. Next up there's Vulcan again, so we already looked at that. So that's actually cooled down now. Look, Vulcan's actually cooled down. Then we have Dorsal over here. So this is a minus 147 degrees, so pretty cold. Okay. So no chances of life yet. It has got potential for life in the future though, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. So that's the purple one. Then we have Down over here. So this looks to be an all frozen world as well. So again, potential life in the future, maybe. So it's all frozen. Then we have this green world, or this green. So this is actually a gas giant. So it's the closest gas giant to Alpha Centauri A here. Okay. Then we've got a bunch of minor objects here. We've got an object called Mad Planet Guy. So pretty cool. So it's an old world there. So another gas giant. So it's quite a small world, more of an ice giant. We'll put it in a nice blue trail so we can know where he is. So there you go. Okay. Then we have Gas World 2, so that's obviously the dominant gas giant in the whole system, so that's got its yellow trail. We've also got Gleaser 436b over here, so another gas world, so we'll give it a nice sort of light turquoisey shade. Zobo over here, that's another gas world already on a pretty extreme orbit. And then the rest of these are all just minor objects. We'll see how they play out in the future as well. Maybe one of them will be habitable. Look at this one, for instance. Looks like it has some stats, it has potential. It's got water on it. It's got clouds, atmosphere. Actually, it looked like it had water. Well, we're going to give it a bit of water. We're going to give it a little helping hand. So, there you go. See how that sorts out. We'll come back to that in the future. So, give it a little bit of potential blue so we can come back to him later so we know where he is. Okay, so it's a possible Earth flight candidate there. Okay, moving on to Alpha Centauri B now. We can already see some fragments. We'll just go ahead and delete any particles in here. Okay, so into the centre of Alpha Centauri B, we already have an object dangerously close, as well like Alpha Centauri A. And it's already been destroyed. So not a good start for this poor object, okay? Next up, we got Salby over here. Of course, there's going to be one of those in here somewhere. So there it is. A pretty desolate looking world. Then we have Kuavo over here. So a pretty, yeah, not the prettiest sight. As you can see, it looks pretty beaten up. So there it is. Got some city lights on it though. I'm not sure why the atmosphere isn't. There's no atmosphere button when it does have an atmosphere. Let's have a look here. Does it actually? Oh, that's pretty weird. Well, it's appearing with an atmosphere, so I don't know why that is. There you go. There's your atmosphere back. So looking underneath, there you go. So pretty beaten up. Got red oceans there. Definitely not an Earth-like planet at all. Then we have Down over here. Hang on, do we really have Down? Do we put two Downs in here? Oh, we did put two Downs. Oh, no, we can't have two of them. No, that's not right. No, we can't have two. Yeah, there's two Downs. Okay, which one do we want to keep? We'll delete this one. And actually, we'll replace it with another world. So you can see this is what the other Down could look like in the future. Maybe it will actually have a life appearance. So, replace object. We'll just replace it with something else. Go to custom objects. Yeah, custom objects. And we'll go with... we'll go with this world called Mogo. There we go. So that's quite a similar looking world, but different. So it has a different name. There you go. So we'll see how Mogo sorts itself out in the future. It looks like it's also frozen up. So we'll see how that sorts itself out. Okay. Got a nice pink trail as well. Next then we have Akam over here. So another Earth-like world. What am I saying? Earth-like? No! That's not an Earth-like world. It's a barren wasteland looking world. There's Korphos. That's an Earth-like world. I think I got distracted when I almost clicked on this one. So here it is. And yeah, that's looking... It's in a pretty good spot at the moment. Pretty good stats going on, actually. So, there you go. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Now, Alpha Centauri B will obviously start to warm up, so we could see some issues there. No, just to be kind, I'm going to give it a slight migration on its orbit. So we're going to give it a little buff to its orbital period here. It times it by 2. So we'll see how that plays out. So there you go, okay. Nice. So I want to see that one in the long run. And we also have this one over here. It's a blue one. What's this? Lurao. Okay. So that's a world that's got a lot of oceans on it. So this is definitely a potential life candidate in the future as well. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Okay. Aurapax, how you doing over here? So that's another pretty beaten up looking world, but we'll give it a slight little bit of ocean. See how that sort of sorts itself out. And we'll give it some atmosphere stats as well. So we'll put a random number in there. There you go, okay. Cool. Still materials will be thrown out here. We've got Kepler over here. What's this? 5-1. That's a gas world, okay. So we'll make sure that's all specced out as well so we can see it later on in the simulation. We've got Hydra Solas over here, so another gas world. So that's the second largest gas giant in the systems. Okay. Got another object out here. I'm guessing that's another gas giant, looking pretty fancy as well. And the rest are all sort of dwarf planets and little less known worlds. Okay, right. So we've got our system sort of all specced up. We've got the objects we want to keep our eyes on. So we'll go ahead, save it, place. Now it's time to start evolving fast. So we're gonna really kick up to speed now with evolution. So press play, yep, speed up time. It's time to watch as our simulations change. So we'll go from Alpha Centauri B's perspective here. We won't evolve the stars just yet, but we're going to get our simulation going as fast as possible. Keep deleting those particles because they will obviously slow our simulation down. But obviously a binary system will run slower, so we can't run it at full speed, unfortunately. So we have to watch this system unfold at a slower pace. But you can see orbits are starting to change already. Things are going to be very, very dodgy in here. So it's going to be a pretty wild ride. You can see there's going to be orbital changes constantly between the two stars. You see this gas giant has already had a switch. So looking at pretty wild indeed. So you can see both stars. Really crazy stuff. You can see there's something slingshotting around Alpha Centauri B. What is this? So keep an eye on this object here. It's out. It's going into the dark depths, but it's going to swoop back around and get closer to Alpha Centauri B on its return. So this is going to be pretty wild. It's got a pretty extreme orbit. It's coming in hot. It's coming in fast. Let's see, is it going to hang on? Yes, it does. But yeah, that's a world we're going to keep an eye on as well. See how that sort of sorts itself out. So we'll put it in a nice bright orange. We can keep an eye on it. We can see there's another world slingshotting around. What is that? So we can see Gleaser here. It looks like it's had a star change. You can see the orbits. Whoa, what is going on here? Let's go ahead and swap back to Alpha Centauri B. You can see this, yeah, that object close to it. Don't sense a good future for it there. So there we go. Right, so let's continue to evolve. So yeah, this is pretty wild. 2 stars at once. Whole different sort of circumstances going on here. Very, very crazy indeed. So 2 stars. And actually, while we're looking, look at all the ejected stuff. Oh, what has happened here? Look at this. So that one is completely gone. We'll get rid of that. Remember, ejected objects, they just get deleted. Do not need them. They are rogue objects. And speaking of rogue objects, we may have some interstellar visitors in this simulation as well, so keep an eye out for that. We'll definitely have some of those pass by. For instance, we could have the solar system fly through, so that could be quite interesting. So yeah, we'll have that in the far future though. So that this simulation, still very early days for this system at the moment, so keep an eye on that. Right. It's annoying we can't run any quicker. I'll keep deleting the particles just to help simulation speed. Can I actually turn off particles? I think I can. Fragments I can turn off. I can't turn off particles. So we can see gas world here. Now dominant gas giant is picking up and changing a few orbits in there. Okay. So I think as well we're going to go for a save. I think it's time to start evolving the stars up as well. So what we're going to do is save simulation, of course. We need to slightly give them a small little buff to their luminosity stats. Okay, pause. Right. So, Alpha Centauri B first. Don't know why it's blue after save, but we're going to lower that temperature down. That's more like it. But luminosity is going to go up, so we're going to increase it dramatically. Radius as well. It's going to get slightly bigger. We're going to double it up. It's now a proper star, main sequence stage, I'd say. So Alpha Centauri B, Alpha Centauri A, same story for you, but you're already a brighter star anyway, so luminosity is already big. The radius as well for Alpha Centauri A, we're going to increase it up. So there you go. Then obviously at luminosity we can give you a buff as well, so there you go. Okay, this poor world here. Alpha Centauri A is about to eat you to shreds here. That's not looking good for this poor little guy here. So we can go ahead and save as well. We'll put it in, we'll make a save too, just in case anything goes wrong. Okay. So, let's save. Okay. Slow down time. We're going to watch as this really plays out. This is not going to be good for this poor little object here. Alpha Centauri A is a lot bigger and brighter now. In the next stage, you can already see trouble is unfolding. Let's slow down time. I think what we're going to do as well is I think it's logical that tidally lock-in will be happening with this object. So where's the tidally lock button? Where is the tidally lock button? Oi! It's down here. Where'd the tidally lock button go? Surface. I'm sure it was on motion, the tidally lock. Where's the tidally lock? Ah, there it is. It's a small button now. So there you go. Tidally locked. So, not good. Okay. So that's pretty silly, close and dangerous. How's this world doing now? So now the stars increase. We could probably see at this world it's going to start to lose some of that ocean eventually. 50 degrees. I think a tidally lock is in order for you as well. It's not often we do tidally locks in these. So there you go. So that is now going to cause problems. So we're going to see how this evolves over time with that tidally lock-in. Yes, you can see. There you go. That's not looking good. We'll keep an eye on that. So there you go. Look on that surface. Water vapor is going to get upset as well. Let's keep an eye on it as it slowly plays out here. Ooh. So same side always facing the star. Not good at all because it's going to get very hot because it's already quite hot here. So tidally lock-in time. Water vapor is going to get hurt big time, so we'll let time evolve on there. See how this sort of sorts itself out. So yeah, not looking good at all. Let's just speed it up. Try and go as fast as possible. See how this sort of plays out. So 224 degrees for the time being, but it looks like to be the highest. Okay, so slow it down. Alright, so that poor world in the middle, man, it's just going to get shredded when the star gets bigger. But yeah, there you go. So still looks pretty barren. I mean, it still has oceans on it, but life likelihood has been destroyed. It's quite warm now. Average temperature is only -4, but the tidally lock-in will change that. Okay, next up we've got Beowulf over here. So this is the next planet out. 99 degrees. So this Earth-like world, it's just formed too close to the star, unfortunately. It looks like it's losing its water already. So I think that greenery needs to sort of disappear, unfortunately. So, for instance, it's going to slowly sort of fade out, I think, you know. Maybe a slightly more orange shade for it as well, you know. It's losing that sort of more of a desert appearance now. So it's losing that sort of Earth-like look. Maybe the water's going to start to sort of lose its colour a bit as well. So yeah, not looking good for this world. So you can really see we're giving it a bit of evolution there, and yeah, not maybe more cloudy atmosphere as well. But there you go. So yeah, not a good word. So it was once green, but it looks like it's losing most of that green as it is getting to the 99-degree point. So very, very hot there. Okay, so next up we've got Dorsal, the next planet out. And Vulcan as well. See how you're doing. So yeah, pretty still normal there. Okay, Dorsal, how are you doing? So a little bit of star increase, minus 138 degrees. Not enough to give it what it needs, unfortunately. So, I mean, where is it in the habitable zone at the moment? It is nowhere near it. So yeah, it needs way more temperature. We've got down over here, again, a world, future Earth-like candidate, probably. We've also got this planet here, that's a gas, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So that's Alpha Centauri A, progress there, and Alpha Centauri B, let's see how the planets around there are doing. Yeah, so focusing on 2 stars at once, I mean, there's so much more going on that we need to keep an eye on before we evolve it fast. So, Alpha Centauri B, how are we doing? It's a planet very close to it still, that's that one from earlier, isn't it? So, oh, it's not looking good for this poor guy, is it? Oh dear, it's lava hot now. And again, I think tidally lock-in is in order, because it just makes sense being that close. Okay, Salby as well. I think tidally lock for you as well, nearby. Okay, how's Curvo doing over here? So this was that lava, well, I say lava, but the red ocean world. Yeah, it's pretty hot here, 86 degrees. I mean, it's already pretty uninhabitable, so we don't need to do anything there. Okay, Mogo, how are you doing? Next object out. Still too cold, no temperature here yet. Okay, so let's continue running our simulation. Okay, let's log back onto Alpha A. Alright, okay, and let's try and go as fast as possible. Keeping an eye on Aru over here as well, so you can see that temperature, see if that has any changes. How are we doing for ejections? It looks like there is more objects being tossed out of the system as well. Not looking good. You can see a lot of these are probably not coming back, so pretty wild stuff. Okay, cool. And then what we'll do is we'll throw a simulation save as well. Just keep doing it as we go through, because you know the game could always get really buggy, so gotta keep saving. Okay, looking good. Alright, simulation, continue to evolve, let's go. You can see there's a lot of transfers, star transfers between the two stars. We can see it, Gleaser here, that's just had a star transfer. It's orbiting the different stars now. Pretty wild stuff. But I'm pretty sure a gas world around Alpha Centauri A, that's our dominant gas giant. I'm sure that's going to have something to say about a lot of planets getting near it, so it could be pretty wild. You can see it may have a change here, it's getting quite close to it. No, it doesn't. Is it going to have a star transfer? It is getting closer to Alpha B. I think it's going to hang on to Alpha A because Alpha B is obviously moving as well. So it's got to get in the right area at the right time. Okay. But I mean, this system could end in disaster. What if both stars get too close to each other? I mean, it could be a big issue. So what's going on with this world here? So this is world minus 200 degrees. Pretty cold. Is this the one we looked at earlier? Has it got any water on it? Oh, it does. Okay, so this is a world that could have potential in the future. So we'll give it a slightly lighter colour, but that orbit isn't going to be very good for it, so yeah, it needs to find its place really, because that's not looking good. How are we doing out here? I mean, the ejected objects, I mean, it's quite hard to tell what's been ejected actually, but yeah, okay, keep rolling. Okay, full speed as far as we can go. So this is going to be pretty wild. Hey, right. So I think it's time for maybe another little evolution of the stars. So we're going to go ahead and, yep. Alrighty. So, stars. What are we thinking? So Alpha Centauri B first again. So we're going to keep the simulation running while we do this. But instead of getting larger, we're going to give it a double up in luminosity. So there you go, you doubled. Alpha Centauri A. So it's already a lot brighter than the sun here. We're going to give you, not a double, but we're going to give it a substantial increase. So there you go. So, slowly getting hotter. It's already the size of the sun, already bigger than the sun. I think Alpha Centauri B probably needs a little size buff, yeah, definitely. So we're going to give you a double up. So 8.61 Jupiters now, so a nice increase there. Okay. Luminosity, yeah, we're gonna double that up as well, yeah. Okay, cool. We can probably start to see some changes on this world already now with the stars have got increasingly bigger. But yeah, we'll come back to that at a later point. Actually, let's actually travel to this world, because let's see how the snow has taken over with the tidal lock-in. So, where are we? Begins with an A. There it is. Okay, so yeah, you can see the tidal lock-in has happened, and it is frozen up. But all the water's disappeared on the front face as well. All the water patches have disappeared. So, not looking good for this planet at all either. Oh, look at the speed. Oh my god. But yeah, there you go. So, the water patches in the twilight area now. Okay. Where's Beowulf? Next planet out. He must be starting to get a little warmer as well. How hot is it here? 111 degrees now on this former Earth-like world. So, not looking good there. Okay. Oh, look at all these trails. Yeah, these are gotta go. I mean, you can see it. This one's not coming back. That one's not. These aren't coming back. It looks like Zobo may have been ejected as well. Okay. Not good there. God, some of these have insane ones. Okay, let's continue. That one's definitely gone as well. Alright. Play. But yeah, Zobo. So this is a gas world. May not be looking good. It may be gone. I don't think that's coming back. Do you think that's coming back? Doesn't look like he is. So, not good. Okay. Yeah, I think that's gone. You see, these are quite far out. I mean, is it even receiving starlight at this point? I mean, it's just gone. Yeah, it's gone. That's not coming back. I think all of these are, to be honest. I mean, look, they're all out of it. I mean, yeah, they've not got orbits, have they? So they're just drifting. Again, I don't think that's coming back either. So a lot of these outer dwarf planets, I mean, I don't think we really need to really observe them, because they're just slow. They're just stopping simulation speed. So we're just going to get rid of all of these outer objects that don't seem to be orbiting much. So you can see they're just having insane changes. Look at that. We don't need this one either. Let's get that out of here. But yeah, look at this. This is pretty wild. So some objects are just not having it. That purple one. What's happened to that purple one there? So another world that could be on the exit. Not good. But yeah, I think these guys... The binary system just makes it a little weirder with the ejections, but you can see they're not coming back. So there you go. Okay. But anyways, back to the simulation. Let's get up speed. As fast as we can possibly run it. But yeah, the only issue is Simulation speed does hurt when you got two dominant stars in here. So you got two sets of stuff to orbit. So pretty wild. Okay. Let's watch as this plays out. Woohoo! And how's we doing on star zones? So, I mean, yeah, they're not that luminous, are they? I mean, like Alpha Centauri A, that's not. Yeah, it's not even sun luminosity yet, so nothing too insane. But you can see, yeah, the system has slightly been cleaned out a bit with less dwarf planets drifting around. So, pretty interesting. This poor world here, this was a world that had potential for live conditions in the future, but it doesn't look like it's ever going to get that with the stars, so pretty wild. We've almost done 1,000 years of simulated time now, so pretty cool. Decent amount of time for stuff to change. Looks like the Gliese not doing too well either on the outer edges of Alpha Centauri B's orbit. Okay, more objects that don't seem to be coming back, so we'll get rid of those as well. Yeah, not looking good for a lot of these. And yeah, some of them are just... Look, I think this world, I think it's the end of the line. I think that's gone. That's not coming back. So that's an Earth-like world lost to deep space, unfortunately. But speaking of deep space, Interstellar Traveller, brown dwarf, I'm thinking. So we're going to go with... We're going to go green gasser. We're going to go with the mysterious green. We're going to launch it directly into this sort of area here. So... South Centauri, yeah, we're going to go somewhere there. So a green, brown dwarf, incoming to Alpha Centauri A system from deep space. We're going to see where this approaches. We're going to see. And we're going to give it a little speed increase as well. We're going to double it up so you can see an interstellar traveller passing by. Is it going to do anything, or is it just going to fly right past? Because the stars are obviously moving, they're not in a set position, so it's going to be quite hard to get an interstellar traveller to actually do anything. But yeah, slowly passing by, the mysterious green star. I don't think it's going to do much, unfortunately. So it's just going to slowly drift past. Oh, damn, that's annoying. So, I was hoping for it to do more, but obviously Alpha Centauri A and B are moving. If I put trails on, you can see it. If I stop the camera's position, you can see it. These guys are moving. So if I can actually get a star to fly into their direction, it's going to be a little hard. So you can see Alpha B and Alpha A. They're obviously in a binary, so they're going to keep orbiting each other. Even though the orbits don't show that. So trails on again. You can see it. They're both keeping together. Alpha Centauri A and B over there. But you can see a lot of stuff. So unfortunately, Gasser Green did not get to do any interactions. But maybe now we know where the stars are going to be. Maybe now we can try and come up with something. So maybe another reattempt at an interstellar traveller. We're going to go over magenta brown dwarf this time. We're going to increase its speed up as well. So we're going to be a shooting star. It's going to be going quite fast. So we're going to fire it sort of there. Oh, I don't know where to aim this really. There. It's all pot luck really, so that flies by very, very fast. I don't know if it had any effect on anything, but it did have a nearby interaction with some of the objects, and maybe it did cause a disruption. You never know, but yeah, that's gone. So very, very fast interstellar traveller there, but that's our two mysterious brown dwarfs that have come and gone. So unfortunately they missed, as yeah, these stars are constantly moving through space as well. So to get them to get anywhere near is a very hard shot. Okay, but anyways, continuing on, we can see that this object's not looking too good. Calm. That's having a slight, it looks, a slight slingshot around, okay. How are we doing on trails? I think these guys are gone, so we're going to get rid of those ejected objects. It looks like Gliese, not looking good for Gliese. But obviously, binary systems are notoriously going to have less planets at the end of the day as well, just because of the binary. You can see stuff is constantly changing in these outer dwarf objects, but we have lost a substantial amount of objects. I mean, look, the list was a lot bigger than this earlier, so pretty wild stuff. Okay, anyways, back to the stars themselves. Let's actually have a peek at what is going on in the inner solar systems. So, where are we? Looks like Alpha Centauri A is destroyed or disintegrated that little planet it was next to it, so it's not there anymore. So, the closest planet is this one now, so we can see the binary, or not the binary, the tidally locked object. You can see it's not looking good. Minus 28 is the average temperature, but the hottest point. We look on the grids here. Where was our... where's all the grid buttons gone? The surface grids. I can't see them. pretty weird. I want to see the map. Ah, oh, what the heck? Slow it down. Oh my god, that is pretty crazy. Why is there no stars in the background as well? What's that all about? Where are we? We'll start. Yeah, oh, there you go. That's better. Cool. I was wondering where the stars were. Okay. Looks a lot more lively in the background now. Oh my god, that is wild. Slow down. Whoa. So it's running a lot faster since we've lost a lot of objects. Okay, let's try Beowulf. Can we see your stats? Have I lost my line? Or of the surf? Oh, they're up. Well, you got to press here, haven't you? There you go. So, 248 is the hottest point. So, okay. Cool. So, yeah, that's a pretty wild map. Okay, there you go. Beowulf, how you doing? Next planet out. 109 degrees now. Okay. And actually, moving to Alpha Centauri B. How are we doing at Alpha Centauri B? So, obviously, it's got brighter here as well. We've still got this planet close to it. Not looking good, though. 500 degrees. Onto the other objects. 239 degrees at Corvo now. So, yeah, pretty hot there. Okay. Salby, how you doing? Just a hot rock. Mogo. 92 degrees at Mogo now. Okay. So, any potential of life here? Or is it all just... There's not much ocean. Oh, you can see there's a little few pots. So, you can see there is water. Look. So, there is water. It's just a white water. So, yeah, it's got a bit of... stuff going on, but I mean not much. I mean stat wise, let's have a look. Where are we? Yeah, it's got some stats at the moment, but not really an Earth-like appearance. It's very hot here anyway. Next planet out, Akam, 42 degrees, and then there's a big jump to Fittiness here, another one of the dwarf objects, and then Corphos, probably our next potential life candidate in the whole system. -4 degrees, slowly warming up. So obviously it did get a orbit increase earlier, so to give it a chance. So it's got its stats, it's got green oceans on it. It's got some pretty good stats, 96 and 82 at the moment, so it's in a very, very good position. And it's only -4 degrees. So, you know, it's got a very, very good potential. It's 45 at the hottest points, but yeah, it's got a pretty decent average. So that is a world we definitely want to keep an eye on and see how it does when Alpha Centauri B gets brighter. So, I mean, if we look at the current habitable zone, it is not even in it, is it? Habitable zone... Oh, no, it is. It's in the green. Okay. Cool. So that's a world we want to keep an eye on. Then we've also got some more objects sort of chilling in the orbits. Not much going on. We've got Lorau over here. That's also an Earth candidate at some point, but it's too far away still. -191 degrees. Okay. Let's continue. Let's evolve for a bit, and then we'll have one more star evolution before we finish off today's episode. So... there we go. Let's let them play out. Not looking good for this object out here, is it? That one's one of the ice giants. We can see the object Calm has just had a star transfer as well. See, star transfers could eject planets out, I reckon, as well. So that'd be a bit dodgy. That Gleezer's definitely gone. That's not coming back, is it? I mean, that's just... yeah. I don't think... oh, and any of these are all gone as well. Look, you can see they're definitely not coming back. So I guess we're losing objects. So yeah, we can now got... this is our system in its current state. I don't think this object Shadox is coming back either. Like, that is completely at it. That's not coming back. Okay, so this is our system at this point. So we've lost even more objects. So that's our current lineup. Alrighty. So how are we looking here? So yeah, we've still got a nice binary between this object, so the second largest gas giant, or giant super Neptune actually, and then Alpha Centauri B. Then obviously around Alpha Centauri A, we've got our little gas world 2, which is the largest of the objects in the largest gas giant in here as well. So big radius, big mass. So you don't want to cross paths with that object. So there we go. Okay, back to the stars themselves. We're going to throw another save in. So yeah, we've lost a lot of objects since we've begun, but yeah, that is usually the way it works, especially in a binary situation. So there you go. Alrighty. Okay, Alpha Centauri A. Now I think we're going to get to sort of sun levels of the present day. So we're going to go up to 1.4 actually. So we're going a little bit, and then radius again. So it's kind of past the present day version of Alpha Centauri, I guess, and then Alpha Centauri B. Again, you're slower to develop than Alpha A. but we're going to slowly give you a buff up to about 0.75, 0.8. Okay, luminosity getting bigger as well. Up to... Oh, no, that's a little too big, but it's up to 1 sun now. So it's actually larger than it is in its current state. So there we go. But remember, these aren't based off the real Alpha Centauris. We're just using them as... templates, so we can play with them however we deem fit. But yeah, there we go. Looks like that calm object's gone as well. That's not coming back. Yeah, that's just completely gone now. But yes, we've had a lot of time evolve, but I think now we're going to do something pretty interesting. Instead of throwing a single object, we're another interstellar traveller, but instead of it being a single object, we're going to have an entire system, and the only way to do this is to select the sun and press whole system. And we're going to launch the whole solar system at Alpha Centauri. So we're going to fire it there. We're going to see if the solar system itself is approaching our Alpha Centauri system of A and B. So we're going to see, is it going to cause any issues? We've got all of the normal planets all around here. The sun is in a binary with Jupiter for some reason. It's got all the moons, all of that. So we're going to see what happens when this gets close to Alpha A and B. It's going to take a while for it to arrive because simulation speed. But we're going to have to see. Is it going to do anything? I don't know. Obviously, the sun is the start of basically equal mass to these guys. So we're going to see what happens. This is going to be wild. Ooh, right. So this is going to be our grand finale for today's episode. So the sun is approaching. Nearby star coming out of the depths of space. There it is over there. What is going to happen? And obviously, Alpha Centauri A and B have just had an increase in radius of mass as well. So there's going to be a lot going on. Save the simulation, of course, as well. Okay. So, let's keep an eye out here. Press play. Come on. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff to save. Obviously, there's a lot of moons in here now. Play. So you can see they're coming in hot. Alright. It looks like they're on quite a good trajectory here. I mean, I think definitely the Neptune, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto orbits probably get caught up in this. Get pulled away from the sun because it's looking like I launched it at quite a good angle and it looks like it is coming in. So Alpha Centauri A and B nearby. It had to be the sun anyway because it's the closest in real life, even though we're not basing it off real life. I mean, in real life it is the closest. It looks like it's going to have a perfect jump between the two A and B stars, so this is going to be wild. What is going to happen here? Interstellar system traveling by. How is this going to play out? This is going to be extreme. Oh, guys, getting close. Alpha Centauri A seems to be the system that's going to be closer. You can see where the sun's trajectory is going to pass by. How is this going to work? It looks like it's going to... Oh, my God. Okay. This is going to cause chaos, surely. Alpha Centauri A is entering. It's in the orbit of Neptune. Uranus is getting close. How is this going to play out? Surely there's going to be orbital changes in here. I mean, that is a very, very close by pass interaction. You can see the orbit of Neptune there, or Uranus has been interrupted. Alpha Centauri B's orbit is passed very close to where Neptune existed there. Oh my god. But it looks like the solar system has passed by unscathed, even though the orbits of the solar system have changed. You can see Uranus and Saturn's orbits have now been interacted hard, so that could upset the solar system's change. Looks like the inner system would be okay, though, wouldn't it? Yeah, they're all fine. There's Earth in there. Okay. But a pretty extreme change there. That could have upset Alpha Centauri A and B's binary orbits for all we know. So that could be a big problem. But there we go. So there, the system has passed by. No damage was really done. No collisions, obviously. It's quite hard to get a collision. But it did fly right through the system. So that is a big, big interaction there with the sun. So they're leaving. We're going to go ahead and delete all of these because we don't want them holding up our simulation speed. So we're going to go ahead and just... do this basically, delete all that, get out of here. We don't want any of that. Oh, the sun, there's the sun itself, so we can still see the sun is leaving, but everything else is gone. So, okay. Now, did that cause a problem? It looks like it did. It did. You can see that Alpha Centauri B got hold of gas world 2, and gas world 2 was originally only orbiting Alpha Centauri A, so it looks like that interaction with the sun has upset our dominant gas giant's orbit. Now that is a serious problem there. That could have some serious consequences in the future of our system. Now that gas world has been interrupted, and you can see, has it broken the systems apart? Have the systems been broken apart there? Or have they just been at a further distance now? That seems to have caused a big problem. It looks like they're still in a binary. Okay, they're still in a binary, but it looks like the distance between the binaries has been increased. Or they're more eccentric. They're definitely more eccentric, both of the binaries. You can see there's massive orbital changes going in between both stars. That was a huge impact to the system, having that interstellar traveller system flyby. So that is a big problem. It looks like the dominant gas giant has been ejected by the other star. Obviously, it's a dominant gas giant, but when it's going up against a star, it will lose. So it looks like we've lost our dominant gas giant to fate. So that is not good indeed. That is a big, big braille. That is a very, very big sort of error there. That world's been ejected. Kepler, that has completely gone. Idel, that's gone as well. You can see it. Calm, that's definitely out of the action as well. But yeah, dominant gas giant. That is a huge shock that the gas world 2, our dominant gas giant, has lost its place in the system completely. They are gone. So our system remains at this now. So you can see both stars. The orbits are getting very erratic with that massive interstellar traveller there. So that is not good. This is now the dominant gas giant in our system, the largest remaining gas giant. So if we get a lineup of all of the objects here, there is what we have. So yeah, we've lost a lot of objects now. Look at that. That's all that's left. So let's take an eye on our inner worlds now. So where's our... So here we go. So our tightly locked object. How are you doing? Because we didn't actually pay attention to what had actually happened here while the binary stuff was all going on. So it's now average temperature of 48 degrees. So you can see it has increased. Look at the ice will go. That is really cool how that works. Look at that. That's so cool. But also if its orbit's changing, the tidally lock-in system will change as well. So yeah, because that's a pretty... yeah, it is rotating at 107 days now. But its orbital period is only... How many days is that? 107 against 107. Okay, so it's still rotating the same as orbit. Okay. Slow down time, though. Whoa. What a wild ride this has been so far in a binary. Okay. So, Akan Beowulf. Again, you're probably quite hot still. Yep, 200. Yellow gas giant. What's this purple object here? What is that? Dorsal. Okay. 40. Oh, hello. So, this world looks like it's starting to enter its golden age. And is starting to warm up. How's our stats looking? You see there's oceans, blue oceans there. It's got some stats. Okay, so we're a life candidate at the moment. Okay, so minus 36 average temperature though. So it goes up to 50 and then... Yes, yeah, so, okay. So it has got a pretty decent base right now. Nice. So that's a world currently in flight conditions. Well, for the most part. Okay, so that's around Alpha A. We've also got Fawn over here. And then moving to Alpha B. So we've obviously got a bunch of this stuff all flying around. But Alpha Centauri B... Looks like it's actually in an orbit. You can see Alpha Centauri B's orbit. Now the dominant gas giant's gone. It's locked onto Alpha A. So you can see Alpha Centauri B's orbit. I'll just change the colour of it so we can actually see it a little more clear so it stands out. So interface, bright yellow for Alpha Centauri B there. You can see there it is orbiting Alpha Centauri A. So its orbit was interrupted there. They were not this far apart earlier on. So they have broken away. This object's still hanging on. Look at it. It's losing material. It's still hanging on in there. Okay. Then we got Kuvol. 308 degrees. Salby there. Mogo, 139 there. This was a world that had water on it. Still got some stats. Corphos, that's the one that's we got our eyes on here. That's our biggest candidate for life. 50 degrees at Corphos now. So you can see the red zone is closer. So time has evolved hard on this guy. So 84. It's still got a decent stats. So what's this temperature looking like? So still goes into minus 55. 102 at the hottest. But yeah, most of it 40, 30. So you want to obviously be in the green areas. They're pretty nice. So don't live in the equator, basically. So if we have a little look at the planet itself, closer up. So yeah, don't sit in the equator area. But the down areas there are a lot better. Nice. So that's looking good. Nice little map on that object. Nice green. So there you go. There's Corphos. Nice. But yeah, there we are, guys. So that does it for part 1 of evolving a binary system from birth to death. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more. Let's see if we can go for 50 likes on today's video, guys, because I know you guys have been waiting a while for another one of these. So yeah, really, really hope you've enjoyed it. And I got to say, I definitely am. So yeah, hope you guys are as well. We're going to save our simulation. So there we are. But yeah, that all said and done, guys. Make sure you have a great day. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.